And only
So
only
motherfuckers started coming back to everybody. We want that shit. So motherfuckers wondering, it's only one shit. What you mean by that shit? Gene Hackman is the only one knew what he had done. So we started working that every time. Treachers would bring me the 7 grams. I give it to Tracy. He hook it up, give it to Gene. Gene put it in with more shit, like clockwork. Get my 1,500.
And how long does this go on?
2 years. Treachers took care of me for 2 years, just like that.
And by
And
about, I guess I would have guessed after about a year. Well, this time I turned
look,
16. I'm
he
18.
took care of me for 2 years.
So you're about
I saw Treachers gave me the last package that said, a month before Pops came home. I was still getting shit from Treachers.
all the way to a month before your father's release.
To a month before my father came home, I was
Okay.
still getting shit from
So
Treachers.
now your father comes home and this situation's been
You
going.
you tell this part.
What? Well, okay. So
They sent me to the store
wait a minute.
and got him
Wait,
drunk
all right.
on Reentering.
Right. So at this point, your pops has come home.
Yeah.
You've still not divulged to him that, hey, pops.
I'm never gonna divulge to him
But
that Treachers was giving me
let's
what.
be honest, looking back, I don't know what we were thinking because we knew
No,
eventually.
what you was thinking.
Tre-
I already know what I was thinking. I wasn't telling him shit.
But okay, but as fate would have it, this night we
You
come
got
home.
drunk.
Wait a minute, no. We're gonna get to me drunk, and then your father got me a little drunker.
And him and Treachers bled you.
But Treachers actually spilled the beans before we got to your house.
No,
Is
while
that-
you and him and Pop was sitting there drinking wine,
They
Treachers asked my father the $1 million question. You know I've been giving your son jive for the last 2 years.
Yes.
And you finished the rest.
Well, they sent you to the store, and I was gonna go to the store, and then the big man said, "No, Junior, why don't you stay here for a minute?"
Oh, he gonna bleed you. He finna bleed
And
you.
I'm not in a position, I'm not going to lie to Eddie Jackson. And I'm half drunk. And then he did even worse. He said, yo, you been drinking, you like wine? Here, have another glass of wine. And he gives me, and by that time, it's a true serum. Well, let me tell you, Eddie, what was happening. See, Treachers was giving Eddie Baby this stuff, and Eddie Baby had me driving because I'm old, so he didn't have license. So Eddie Baby would ask
And
me.
even with the tell how I told the goddamn car, go finish.
And then, yeah, because that came up too. That was the sidebar. That was the
Yeah,
end.
I'm sure
After
it did.
he said, "What happened with the 9.8?" Well, see, so I did. He was going to get to the bottom of it anyway, but it ended up this
Only
this,
because you gonna
wait
tell.
a minute. But this childhood mischief
Right?
leads to a big thing happening because your father
No,
ends up
Pep
asking
need to thank
wait a
you.
minute,
Leads to Pep
Pep,
financial wealth.
You,
Because me and Tracy ain't get shit.
okay, but we'll get that. Because your father asked, after all this is divulged, he asked you $1 million question.
Who was I giving this shit to?
Too. And then you tell him.
I was giving it to Tracy. And Maurice Bell had already bust me. Because Maurice Bell, which is Butch Jones' nephew, told Pop that he was taking care of me while he was in jail because me and Spencer Holloway used to do runs for Maurice Bell to get weed money and Remy Martin money. Mo used to throw us for man, Mo would give us a fifth of Remy and for $100 for doing a run. And we short and starving like a motherfucker, man.
So on that whole area, so just to fill in kind of gap, so there's a period where both our fathers are away through your friend, through Tracy, shout out, rest in peace, Jabba the Hutt, and then a kid who lived around the block from us, Spencer.
Right.
We have become closely kind of associated with a lot of these guys in this phenomenon of YBI, Young Boys Incorporated.
He was associated with him.
But
The
you're
only
saying
ones I
Maurice
was
looked out,
associated with.
but was looking
Spencer
out.
was getting that.
Okay.
I knew Maurice Bell. I spoke to him, but Spencer was doing the hand-to-hand combat. He would go get the bag from Mo. He was driving his mother's white Tornado, and I was his ride man.
Okay.
I was just his ride boy. He paid me just from being his ride boy. But Spencer was handling everything.
Okay, so he was a nice kid. And who else was there? We met Bunyan. We met Nick.
All of
We
them.
met Avery. James.
All of them.
Between Spencer and Tracy, we pretty much
Look,
end up coming to
Spencer
contact.
used to take me over Nick Scott house, which was his family, which lived on Cortland, right
Shout
around the
out to
corner
Nick.
from Tracy. So I met Nick Scott's whole family.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was Spencer's man. We go over Nick. That's his family. When they used to have cookouts and shit, Nick was my man. Man, we used to ride with Nick and thought we was the shit. Nick put us in that burgundy Jag and that motherfucking Radar with the top off, man. Nigga, we thought we was young boys. We ride around that bitch, thought we was kings.
So that led to actually you explained to your father, you gave it to Tracy. The story gets more unpacked, and then Tracy brings in Mr. Cooper. Shout out to Brother Pep.
There you go.
Brings out the Pep.
Right on.
And Pep and your dad run up the bag for 18 months in a big
Pops
way.
loved Pep.
In a big way.
Walked in, loved him. Just like a son. That's all I could ever say about it. He loved Pep like a son.
And now, okay, so now you gotta be now where you're out of South High School. This is early college.
Is this after the indictment?
This is about 85.
Okay, this is after indictment.
After indictment. You now, so we'll move it forward. So you've gotten broken in. You already went through this thing. It went from a childhood prank.
But I remember this.
That
I ain't hustled.
You still are not.
The only thing I've done is take 50 quarters, which is a half a key, to Tracy's mother house and exchange it with Pep and get $50,000 every day.
Okay.
I have not sold nothing to no. I only exchange with Pep. I haven't done anything else but drop off and pick up at this point.
So when would you think, and as you tell your memoirs, where would you say it went from cutting your teeth? Where'd you learn?
2 years after we got indicted,
okay,
and Judge Avery Corn gave me the dismissal. For 2 years, I didn't have to do nothing. In them 2 years, Demetrius Holloway was taking care of me and my sister because everybody else was in jail. My mother was in jail, Annie Mae was in jail, my father, everybody was in jail, man, but me and Trisha. So my father told Demetrius, take care of Eddie, baby, and Trisha till Annie Mae and Mama get home. So Demetrius is taking care of us now. I would see Demetrius every day, or if I needed anything, like I told you, Demetrius Holloway, man, gave me $300,000.
On the strength of his relationship with your old man.
He gave me $100,000 to pay the gas bill. I was doing runs for him. And I had asked him for some shirts that had my initial on it because all his shirts had DH on it. And he had on that motherfucking presidential Rolex. And I wanted some shirts with EJ on it because I'm going to get me a goddamn presidential Rolex.
Okay.
So I thought he had ordered me some shirts at the Broadway. So I go down to the Broadway to meet him. I got to knock on the door because the Broadway is closed. When Demetrius used to go into the Broadway, they would close it. You couldn't even get in there. So I had to knock on the door. And freaking Steve opened the door for me.
He knew who you was? He recognized you?
Come on. Freaking Steve. Come on now. Just freaking
but
Steve.
But the people don't know these things, Eddie.
Freaking Steve was another big money.
So everybody explain who Freaky Steve
Freaky
is.
Steve had caught a case. And every day during the trial, Freaky Steve used to go to court in a limo. Every day during the trial, Freaky Steve used to go to court in a limo.
Because he's a Detroit legend, but there's people out here who don't know who Freaky Steve is.
Well, I'm just telling you, he's a project legend. But see, there's two Freaky Steve. One with the white boy Rick shit, which ain't the Freaky Steve I'm talking about.
He's not the famous.
So let's clarify
You're talking about the famous
the
Freaky Steve.
Steve I'm talking about is not the Freaky Steve that was in the white boy Rick movie.
Right.
The Freaky Steve I'm talking about is Huckabuck's partner.
The legendary Project Freaky Steve.
The legendary Project Freaky Steve.
There we go. Okay. So for 2 years, rest in peace.
And I go down there. I told
Demetrius
you he gave me $300,000.
Right.
I went to the Broadway. Think he finna give me some shirts for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave it to me like, in a shirt box like it was wrapped. And when I got home and opened, there was $100,000 in there. I thought it was shirts because it was in a shirt box.
Okay.
So he gave me $100,000. Man, we had been like I tell you, at this time, I was moving to Key in 7 hours in nickels. I stayed at the cook-up table, either cutting up.
But wait a
cooking.
minute. You moved fast. 2 years you're not working.
The reason he gave me the $100,000 bonus like your father is because I had been moving the crowd. I was moving a Key in 7 hours.
Plus. So wait a minute though. You've already, then this is after the 2 years of him looking out for you. Now you're kind of working with him.
Now I done got a chance to get my gloves wet.
Okay, so walk us back there. How, what?
Me
I
and you-
know, but me and you have
I'm
not.
finna walk it through.
Right.
Me and you started hustling.
Right.
We was fucking with a guy by the name of the Pope.
Yes.
And we was at Hood's Tire Shop. Every day we was out there trying to sell nickel rocks.
Yes, we were.
Long story short, it didn't work.
Okay.
You decided to leave.
Yes.
I told you, as you said before, hey man, hang around. Shit gonna change. It can only get greater later. You said, hey, I got to go. You and Harry Tyler left. And Jerome came and got, see, after you left, I said in my mind, I got to play the only card I got in the deck.
And what's that?
I got to play the Joker and go up here and scream at Pops.
Okay.
So now I got to get the gloves taken off of me. Because at this point, I ain't touched no dope, seen no dope, or smelt no dope, or looked at no dope in 2 years.
Okay.
So now I got to go up there and get him to get Demetrius to give me something. So first he played me for 2 weeks because I had been getting high. Like you know, me, you, and Craig and them had been fucking
We
up,
blew
getting
off
high,
a fortune in one
fucking
summer.
smoking coke. And Demetrius had told my father that I was getting high.
Okay.
So now I had a chip on my shoulder with Demetrius because, you know,
He done
then
ratted
my
you up.
sister gave me
Didn't
up.
rat you
But
out.
see, on this day, I got to thank my sister with everything in my heart and
Shout
the
out
soul
to
of
Patricia.
Demetrius.
And rest
Because
in
it
peace,
was
dear.
them two that changed my fortune. One got me off crack, and two gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. After he did
So you
that,
holler at your pops.
he said, Eddie, 2 weeks, I ran around everywhere looking for Demetrius. This is what he did to me.
Okay.
After the second week, I went back to my island to visit him. I said, Pop, I'm tired of looking for Demetrius. Fuck it, I give up. I can't find him. Everywhere I go, man, I done either dismissed him or he ain't there.
Okay.
He said, he'll be at your mother's house in the morning.
Was it?
Like that. He's at my mother's house in the morning with a key for me. He gave my mother $10,000. He was at my mother's house in the morning, and she lived on Bartlett and Woodward. And he was there that morning. He gave my mother $10,000, and he gave me a brick of coke.
Boom.
And that started me.
Fortunes change quickly on French Road.
And
did they
that
not?
started me. That started me.
73. The Detroit Free Press's front page proclaims, "Dope kingpins get away with it." They had names like Jesse James, Pretty Ricky, the Black Greek, and Mr. Clean. 2 of the 12 men listed as Detroit's biggest heroin dealers were next-door neighbors, and in reality, they were the 2 largest heroin dealers in Detroit, dwarfing the other men on the list. Eddie the Fat Man Jackson, charismatic son of a pool hall owner, and his chief lieutenant, Courtney the Field Marshal Brown, a former city bus driver, had built an empire on a par with men like Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas of New York. But theirs was a very different and in many ways more sophisticated operation than Barnes and Lucas's, based on family ties and finesse more than murder and mayhem. They truly were the Motown Mafia, and the saga of Eddie Jackson, Courtney Brown, and their families stretched from the 1960s and into the present day. Starting in 1969, Eddie Jackson had built a tight inner circle of lieutenants like Charles Rudolph, Russell Clayton, Ronald 5-0 Garrett, Black Butch, and his right-hand man, Courtney Brown. All of them had grown up together in Detroit's old Black Bottom and Paradise Valley neighborhoods, forming an unbreakable foundation for their soon-to-come heroin empire.
In a city built on hustle, one man dared to dance with the devil. He was smooth, slick, and dangerous. This ain't no bedtime story. This is blood, bricks, and backstabs. This summer, loyalty is dead, and the streets are talking. The Devil is a Lie, a Big Boss Filmworks original. Narrated by the streets, told by the game, inspired by the truth.